all this stuff started in Delhi, the music making process, because Delhi walas are dildar. They are not like, we don't like care about like, for them, what they want to do, they will do. In other cities, they'll think about bills and, they won't take those risks. But in Delhi, it's very different.
I feel that Delhi gets a bad, it gets a sort of a negative reputation where you feel like it's not open to music, and it's primarily still dominated by Punjabi and Bollywood, which might actually be the case for most people. But I feel like now it's a lot more opened up to where people have actually warmed up and opened up to different styles of music.
When I was starting out, Delhi was quite a center for this, very much the capital even in the electronic music context.
It has a lot of things going on. If we do stick to electronic music for now, lots of creative heads present in the city.
When I first moved to Delhi in 2019, I remember that honestly, Delhi was crazy. There was so much happening. There was clubs like Soho that were open till 6 in the morning. There was the mecca of music in Delhi like Oro and Summer House, where the whole music industry would congregate together on a Wednesday to enjoy Box Out Wednesdays.
It's very fair to actually compare it with, I think, any big city in the world. I would really talk highly of Delhi, not just because I would hold a bias because I'm myself from Delhi.
Medieval pundits. You have to understand the chain. Like first it was Talveen Singh in the UK and Nitin Sani. They were the first with Indian origins, even though they're British born. And they started the whole mixing of Indian sounds and Indian electronica, and then medieval pundits came.
And the Jalebi Cartel, also another band who now all 4 members are quite prominent by themselves as solo acts.
From Delhi, you have a real big heart, whether it's for your friendship or for your creativity, and you give fully. And people who know that, they know.
There is house music, there is techno music, there is bass music, there is reggae music, there is dub, there is ambient stuff in terms of electronic.
For me, this stepping into house music was basically when I'd kind of discovered these artists, when I discovered Swedish House Mafia. I'd seen their documentary, it was called One or Until One, where they were basically making music, and I basically wanted to get involved with something like that.
So now tech house is it's commercialized, so people don't know what the real tech house is. Basically what they hear on Beatport, that's not, because now it's become commercialized remixes, but the original tech house is very different.
I mean, we love house music, okay? And house music is not that music which can only be played in a big room or in a nightclub where people have essentially come to rage. It is a kind of music which you can start your day with, even with the coffee places, or basically there's no specific time for that. I mean, there's no specific time for any music, but house music is more like a chilled out, groovy kind of situation.
There were a few moments. The first moment was when I have some cousins that live in London, and they took me to Fabric in London, where I heard Terry Francis, who's a resident of Fabric. And that whole experience blew my mind, because it was just amazing, just to see the kind of music they were playing, the sound system, the vibe, the feeling, and Terry Francis's style is he plays tech house, which is a fusion between house and techno. It's bang in the middle. It was a genre that was invented in London, and it was invented by Terry Francis, Eddie Richards, and a few other people. They had this crew called Wiggle, and they threw the best tech house parties.
Trying to find people who are associated to the vinyl culture in Delhi. There have been people and initiatives who have done vinyl DJing and have been associated with vinyl formats and cultures. before me.
When I went to New York at that time, vinyl was still the main mode of like playing and DJing, and Beatport had just started at that time, so it was very new. But when I went to New York, which was about 2003 to 2006, people were still buying vinyl at record stores. So when I started DJing, I had to buy vinyl, and that's how I started. I had to collect, and then I learned how to play. I got my confidence. And then in 2007, I came to India, and then I started playing in New Delhi.
So if I was DJing on a digital format for like a year and a half, maybe, let's say, I think after a year and a half, it was not very satisfying. I wanted to dive into more detail. I wanted to explore a more physical affair with the music, where I would be able to hold music in my hands in terms of a record. The whole culture of the vinyl is about that, about spending time, about knowing your music in a better way.
This format will yield, or it'll provide a form of language which you can speak in the club, but you can speak other languages through this format as well.
Good venues to come up for sure. Like that is one thing where Delhi is lacking. People are great, DJ is great musicians. The whole ecosystem is set, but where Delhi is really lacking right now is a proper venue. A venue for the people, not one of those super clubs where the entry is like 3,000 rupees, where the normal person cannot get in.
Okay, like I feel that the events that take place in the city are primarily around the venue, or they're primarily around the promotion company that's that's basically hosting the event. It's not necessarily around the music first.
And that's why actually we do what we do in terms of taking up non-conventional spaces, like maybe film studio, or we do this festival for 2 days in a village in outdoors, where everything is under our control, where it's not the venue which is going to tell us, okay, that you cannot get these people in, or this kind of music, or this is going to be like this, or that is going to be like that.
So I don't feel it's music first. I feel that is one component. It's whatever's trending, whatever's hot is basically what the event is created around.
And people are wanting to play gigs, people are wanting to play smaller parties, people are wanting to play, aspiring for festivals.
In terms of coming out of that whole drama, I think it's very important to have spaces, and yeah, like in terms of future, everything is great, we just need like good venues.
Well, I mean, we're sitting in one to start with. The summer house is definitely, I'd like to credit the one of the partners here, Ricky Teja, who also loves house and techno music. So he's always given a place here for that. I remember the first time I played here was on a Wednesday night in 2015, and we were nobodies. I mean, I'm still nobody, but I was even more of a nobody then. And so we had the chance to come up here and learn the craft.
I was doing this thing in Berlin, but then coming back here, people were listening to very different stuff. I remember I still played a night, 2018, I played a night in Oro. Back then they used to do this weekend Sunday property called Under the Radar, where they used to give 2 DJs a chance to play 2-hour sets each.
Around 2017 is when it opened, and it's one of the few venues that opened on a basis of putting alternate or underground music as a centerpiece. Whereas usually what happens is that a lot of venues put commercial music and then let this happen, as a secondary thing.
There are a lot of avenues which are offering you a club culture, lots of avenues offering you non-club cultures, non-conventional cultures, where you can find people pushing the sound and playing music in cafes and in retail stores.
So I learned a lot, how to get the flow started, how to open for different types of artists, etc.
People play in record shops, people play in cafes, people play in retail stores, clothing stores, shoe stores, everything. Wherever there is a point which can gravitate people and the like-minded people who might be interested in catching what music is all about, what music can offer.
And I mean, it's been a community space. You walk in, at some point and you find people from like artists, DJs, managers, promoters just hanging here. So I think these two venues are definitely very, very important.
I think there was this little post that went viral on Instagram where this chick was like, what do DJs even do, right? Do they do something? I truly believe that people think it's like, that's why you also see a surge in the amount of DJs right now. Like everyone's just like, yeah, I can make a sick playlist and just go and play it. No, in my opinion, the number one thing a DJ does is read a room.
I mean, they're right when they say that it's fun, it's a party life, etc. But ideally, when you're starting out, when you're trying to get work, before you start getting work regularly, before you have a profile, before people start to get to know you, it's the absolute pits. You don't get chances, you fall prey to nepotism. Nobody really listens. You get ignored a lot. You get, other people get opportunities you think you want, you deserve. So it's very tough to start getting work. But once you start, it's kind of, you have to keep the ball rolling. Apart from that, it is very tiring. Your sleep cycle is constantly shifting. Like as I said, Monday to Thursday, I'm sleeping normally, but sometimes Friday to Sunday, it's like I may barely get any sleep. Then I have to switch it back on Monday again.
The reason why you actually stepped into making music was because you enjoyed it. You enjoyed the creative flow with it. You wanted to share that with people. As much, you were inspired also by, say, artists and like seeing gigs, seeing like, say, boiler room sets, and you're like, this is the kind of stuff I want to get into. This sort of energy is infectious. I want to basically make my own music, put my stuff out there.
You're a girl, or you might be getting booked because you look a certain way instead of the music you play, or people make remarks, and that all exists as well. So like I said, there are a few pros and there are a few cons, but I think you shouldn't focus on any of that. What you need to focus on is just at least that's what I tell myself, is that you have to go give your 150%. Like you have to be the best that you can. And that's all that matters. And the rest, whether you were booked because you're a girl, whether you're booked because you look a certain way, or someone is saying something, you have to just ignore all of that. Take whatever opportunity you get and just do your best.
Today, people, namely, like if you take Zokuma, for example, I was making fan artwork for him 9 years ago. This industry is... to navigate is hard, not just for a woman, but for a man too. And that being said, coming back to women specifically, there are its own challenges, but I'm a strong believer of what you put out is the energy you receive. And for me, I've always sort of concentrated on putting out, whether it's creativity, whether it's fashion, whether it's music, those are the things I want to concentrate on.
All creative careers, no matter how glamorous they might seem to be, whether it's being a DJ, because you're seeing so many DJs out there nowadays, or a visual artist, they're hard things to follow,
Also, look at how many new female DJs there are. So clearly, it's like a market and an industry that's booming for women as well.
Main pillar is sharing, is exchange. So if you have that, you have someone who's making music authentically or giving experiences, and people are kind of accepting that, and they also derive value from those, and they also give back value. They give back the artist or the event or whatever the scene is. They give back to it in terms of presence, in terms of that's what basically makes it grow.
I think community support is huge. I just started a community radio called New Delhi Community Radio. I have my own IP called Paradisco. We fully plug into the queer community. We think it's super important to just bring people from all different walks of life together. This is a small community. If you don't come together, we're way stronger if we're together. And I feel like that again is something people struggle with. Maybe the newer generation, I consider myself a slightly newer generation DJ. I've been doing this for 6 years. There are people like Hamza who've been doing this for 20 plus years, right? So some of the newer DJs, maybe they can make the change.
Just like go up to the promoter and ask like, okay, you know, like what's the kind of music that you want? Like what's your intention behind actually doing it? Is it just like making money, or is it actually promoting something like, you know, worthwhile for the people? So that is, I think, real community support, knowing what you're doing, why you're doing, and also then propagating it to people. Like if you're trying to get someone involved, like, you know, we have our friends coming in for our parties and then they think that it's a really cool party, so they try to involve other people also. So instead of just telling them that, okay, just come, whatever, again, drink, have a good time, go back. No, I think it's very, very, very important to understand the intention behind the movement and then have a little study, learn about it, read about it, because that really affects the dance floor. That really affects the energy of the party that you're going through.
But I think what support also looks like is sharing what you're doing, cheering you on, words of encouragement.
And it's small communities like this which are actually pushing and trying to keep the culture alive. So if you connect with them, stay with them, promote their messages, buy their tickets, of course, very important, come to the shows. So I think this is like real community support where people are coming for the people and the events are happening by the people, and it's just like a cool ecosystem for everyone to survive, to enjoy and to dance.
Still remember when I had my first solo show for my visual arts, like my first solo show last year. I had so many friends who shared it on their Instagram and messaged me and congratulated me, even though it wasn't in Delhi, it was in Bombay. And I still remember all of that. You know, it felt so overwhelming. So that also feels like support.
Connections and, you know, genuine connections. They were just all online. I'd actually never met these people. My music also ended up getting played at one of the UEFA Champions League finals. So it was crazy. I was getting like videos of my music being played, and I was like, yeah, so this stuff I couldn't have really planned like that, you know? And you just keep doing that. Like, it just gives you a sign that you just continue making music the way you want to make it. Whether or not it gets signed or appreciated or heard, you get like 10 plays or 10 million plays, it doesn't really matter. That's what I think like a music journey is about. Like,
and when you start creating opportunities for yourself and for others, I feel like you start sharing also. You start sharing skills. You tell them, okay, you know what, there's this opportunity, why don't you play with me? I'll teach you how it's done, or I'll play with you.
In India, what happens is that these people that own bars and restaurants, they'll invest in the decor of the place and they'll make the place look beautiful, but they'll never invest in sound. They don't care about that, and then they expect people to come and have a great time. You know, I mean, people have to start investing in sound in India, because now India has money. We're like becoming the 4th richest country in the world in terms of GDP.
If the sound isn't good, you could be playing the best produced tracks, the highest quality of music, it will come out shit, and people will assume that, you know, the DJ is bad. It's our responsibility as people who throw events and play music to not damage people's ears. So loudness levels also matter, the quality of sound matters. Different types of music is produced differently also. There are certain qualities like sub bass, etc., that need to come out properly for you to understand what the song is trying to say or is doing to your body. So a proper sound system is absolutely the epicenter of the whole experience. That's a big myth. You can put a good sound system in a bad sounding room and it will sound bad. It has to be tuned. There needs to be some kind of mediation.
And they create an atmosphere where like the sound system is amazing and it's all through rotary mixers. So as I was saying again, when you play through rotary mixers, it's like driving a Ferrari. And all DJs should know what it's like to go get into a Ferrari. Why are you just doing it on a Maruti, man? Like basically you have to know and feel what it is to drive a Ferrari. Why? You know? That's why everyone should look into rotary mixers. You know, everyone should drive these Ferraris, and clubs should invest and restaurants in great sound. Not just the decor and stuff, because if you don't just do the decor and the food and the service and you don't do the sound, something's lacking. Why are you doing that? Like, finish the job off. So that basically it's an amazing experience, you know, when people dance their ass off and they have a great restaurant where they have good food and a good bar. It's like a holistic experience where they go back by, they're like, wow, the food was great, the bar was amazing, and the music was amazing. I want to go back again. And wow, I feel like I'm lived an amazing moment which I'll carry through my whole life. You want to give people moments like that.
DJs would take on, say, residency roles initially to get exposure and all that stuff, to get their chops going, and then they get stuck in it. I mean, I'm just saying stuck. Maybe they actually enjoy that entire process and that routine. But I would say most people who are creative at heart would find that mechanical.
It's easy to see something on Instagram and compare your practice to that and be like, oh, you know, like, why am I not playing 3 gigs every weekend? It's easy to do that. But what is more difficult is to ask, am I the person who wants to play 3 gigs a weekend? Whatever the context be, as an artist, you need to ask this question of your own practice.
Where they're being asked to play, say, the same sort of music, the same sort of remixes, and eventually you'll reach like a threshold where it's just not, you've lost your balance in that sense. And that's basically when people have burnouts and they realize why, like, if they're actually they have a lot of self-doubt, if they're actually taking the right decisions. You need to strike a balance where the way to do that is always from like start going back to the essence of why you got into this in the first place.
Either you can choose to be an entertainer or you can choose to be an artist. Now, this segregation is hugely based upon your approach with what you want to give to people. An entertainer says, I am here to entertain you guys. I'm for the crowd. I will give you whatever you want. I will give you whatever sound you want, whatever music you want. I will play literally play according to the choice of the people. Now, there's a difference between playing according to the choice of the people and playing according to the vibe of the people.
I had those experiences where I was playing like a DJing residency, like I was holding a DJing residency, and there were times when I was questioning all of it, you know, like why I'm even doing this. And then I'd kind of remind myself that it was if I had certain goals to hit, like certain financial goals, I wanted certain gear and I wanted certain sense of, like I wanted to build a studio setup or whatever it is.
You can be an absolute artist if you really just free from all kinds of boundaries in your head about what you want to deliver. An artist says that, unlike an entertainer, that this is me, this is my sound.
But basically, those are reasons why we start, but we often just get stuck in it because it feels comfortable, you know. And let's say if you remove any sort of financial or creative pressures on the music, it'll thrive 100%.
I have traveled for music, I have stayed at home for music, I have stepped out for music, I have actually skipped a meal for music because something that I'm listening to is too interesting for me to be able to leave it and actually go do a chore or like eat or drink water, anything. It's been an important part of my life.
and when people are listening with you and they're reacting to you, that energy exchange between people and the artist is what really, it's like my favorite part. But like DJing is that interaction, energy is like a collective spiritual moment, you know, sharing with people. When you share, you become happy in life, right? If you just hoard everything to yourself and you're selfish and you're just doing yourself, you're not sharing, the happiness will only not come. But when you share, happiness will come to you because it's about other people, it's not about yourself. Every time you do stuff for yourself, you will not really be that happy. The minute you start doing for others, you become happy because it's like, that's how life works. And people need to understand that.
It's my job also, right? Like, I'm a full-time DJ now. Like, I do not have any side hustles anymore. I'm fully like locked into this, and I will be till the day I can, which I hope is forever, because then there's people like Ma Faiza who started DJing in 94. She's still DJing. I was born in 94. So like the whole myth of like it could be a short shelf life, blah, blah, blah. No, I will do this till I can. Like, all in, let's go.
There has been no plan B for me. I don't think I would do anything. Everything I do, I even teach music production and stuff. I've taught DJing in the past. So it all stems from this common seed. You know, it's different branches of the same seed. It's my life now. So, I mean, if I was to change, if I was to not DJ, I would be basically either giving up my current identity or like dying. So that's basically it.